Hi, this is Don McAllister and welcome to another Screencasts Online weekly tip video. In this week's tip, I take a look at a free iOS application that allows you to take full control of drag and drop on the iPad using iOS 11. And that application is called GLaDOS. Now, if we just go across to the App Store, this is GLaDOS across on the App Store. One of the issues with drag and drop on iOS is the gymnastics required to drag content between multiple applications. And GLaDOS acts as a shelf application that allows you to drag content onto it for future use. Now, let me just quickly open GLaDOS. I've not installed the in-app purchase as of yet, so it is limited to 10 items that it can contain, but it's a very inexpensive in-app purchase. I think it's 99 cents or 99p for unlimited items on the shelf. Now, as you can see, it will run in full screen, but I found it better. If we come out of here, you can run it. Let's go into Photos. You can run it, if I just pull the duck up, you can run it as a split screen application on either side. But I found it to be better as a slide over panel, and then it's available to me no matter which application I'm using. Let's say, for instance, I'm working in my photo library, and then I remember I've promised to send someone a photo of one of the cats. So if I just touch and drag this image, now I could navigate my way to the Messages application, but I could just drag it across to GLaDOS and leave it there and then act on that later. Well, let's say I wasn't sure which photo I wanted. I can drag another photo, pull that down, then tap these other photos. So I've now got an extra 3 photos, drag them across, let go, and then once they're stored in GLaDOS, I can just swipe across and get on with my work. And then later on, oh yeah, I want to send those cats off to somebody, go into Messages, swipe across, and there are the 4 pictures of the cats. Let's say I want to send that one, drag, drop, and that's now ready to be sent. Or let's say I'm in the Mail application, I want to bookmark this email. I can swipe across, I'll just touch and drag the email and drop it directly into GLaDOS. Or let's say I want to select the contents of this email. If I touch and hold, and we can drag down, grab the image as well, we'll grab that first bit, then touch and hold, and then pull GLaDOS across from the side and drag that on there. That's some text snippets and an image I have captured. Now if I go to the home screen, let's say I'm working in the Reminders application. And then I remember I want to reference that email. I can just slide across, tap on the email, and we'll talk about the contents of GLaDOS. But if I just tap open, that will go ahead, open the email application and take me directly to that particular email. Let's have a look at some other examples of dragging stuff in. Let's have a look at Maps. If I go to Maps, let's create a draggable object. I'll tap and hold on New York Pizza Kitchen and drag, and then bring out GLaDOS, swipe across, and then drag this and drop it onto GLaDOS. Now that map object contains much more information than just the map reference. In fact, let's take a look. If I tap to open up the object, you'll see it contains many different elements. So the map item itself, electronic business card, or the contact information that's contained within the dragged clip, a public URL, the rich text, some rich text with attachments, and then just plain text as well. And we can access any of these individual elements and do as we want with them. Let's say, for instance, if I just wanted to have a look at the electronic business card, I can just tap on this little eye, and that displays the information for that particular venue. That's not a particularly good example. Let me try another one. Let's try the San Francisco Hotel. If I drag and drop that in there, and then tap to open, now I have a look at the electronic business card for this one. That's better. There's more information contained within there. And I can use this to send it off to contacts if I wanted to, or send it to a message, etc. But let's just come back out of here. Now, with this object stored on my GLaDOS shelf, I can do some other things as well. I can add a note. I can add a label. So I wanted to label this as hotel. I can add additional labels if I want to, but we'll leave that for now. If I want to delete items from here, let's say this URL, if I wanted to delete it, I could just swipe across and say delete. I'll leave it in for now. The little magnifying glass next to each item allows you to see the hex value or the ASCII value of that data. Probably not something that most people will need to use, but it's there if you do need to. And then down at the bottom, I can delete the object. I can copy it to the clipboard, I can also access a share sheet from down here as well, but we'll say cancel to that for now. And of course, if I tap open, that will take me directly to that map location in the Maps application itself. Let's just copy one more thing over. Let's go across to, let's say, Notes. So if I'm in Notes and I have this option here, I could either copy the entire note or just this graphic, or this image rather. I could start to drag it, bring GLaDOS out, and then drop it at the top. And if I open this up, I can see I have some binary data, but this is a JPEG image, so I can drag that image out to any other application. But we'll just say done to that for now. So across the top, we can edit our content. So if I tap on edit, if I want to delete something, I can just select, say, one of these or a couple of these, just tap them and then say delete 2 items. I can also set a filter. So you'll see I set a label before for hotel. If I tap on hotel, I just see that one item with the label hotel. So you can use this as a filtering mechanism. Let's see all items. I have the option to duplicate items on the shelf and then access to settings. So from here, you can both import an existing library or export your current library as a zip file. You can also switch on iCloud Sync. So if you do switch on iCloud Sync, we'll just say proceed. That's now going to sync with iCloud. And now when I go to my iPhone or any other iOS device that has GLaDOS installed, it should synchronize automatically. There is also an options button. The 2 main ones I'd want to point out to you are the third one down, remove items that are dragged out. So if you don't want to keep a permanent library of items, you can switch this on so that as you drag items out, they are deleted from the shelf. And then also down at the bottom, display notes in main view. If I tap that and switch that on and then say done, you'll see down at the bottom that San Francisco proper hotel, the map object that we dragged in before. I added the note stayed in 2018, and that's now displayed on the main screen. So let's finish off by having a quick look on the iPhone. So this is GLaDOS installed on my iPhone 8 Plus. I've already synchronized with iCloud, and there's support for 3D touch, allowing me to share GLaDOS, paste and search, and also options to have a look at the top entries in my GLaDOS library. So if I tap on, say, the photo, that's now copied to my clipboard. If I go into something like notes and create a new note, I can, or I should be able to paste. There we go, paste the image in. We'll say done to that. Drag and drop is limited with GLaDOS on the iPhone because of the limitations of drag and drop on the iPhone itself. But if we go into GLaDOS, you'll see we get the full synchronized library. I can tap in, I can have a look at all the different data elements and copy these to the clipboard or access them via the share sheet, etc. I can also open. So if I tap open, that will open the maps, takes me directly to that reference. Let me go back into GLaDOS again. And if I reference the email that I copied over before, we'll just tap on here. Again, I can see all the information. I can say open, and that takes me directly to that message in Mail. If you want to learn more about using your Apple devices, there are over 700 full video tutorials available to ScreenCastsOnline members, covering all aspects of the Mac, iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, and even the Apple TV. Now, all full members receive a new Apple-related video tutorial each and every week, as well as a free subscription to the ScreenCastsOnline monthly magazine, packed with videos and articles on getting the most out of your Apple devices. Now, you can get your free 14-day trial membership over at ScreenCastsOnline.com, or check out some of the free content over on the SCO Showcase app on the iPad, iPhone, and Apple TV. That's it for this week. I'll be back next week with another tip, so I'll speak to you then.